I'm going to show you a design from the set of 1710 bed hangings that we own and bought really by mistake. I didn't know what they were, and then they arrived and they were in bin bags, and it was just terribly exciting when I put my nose in and decided these are not modern crewel work pieces from a department store, and my luck was in. So we actually bought a full set of 1710 bed hangings. So along the top of the pelmet, the male birds reside. So there is a gorgeous parrot. There's only half of it left because the seams were joined, unfortunately, over the parrot at a later date. But intact are 2 or 3 king ho-ho birds, and I think they're glorious. And before I put the conservation mesh over them, over this particular part of the pelmet, which is very fragile, I took the design and also the colours. So this is in scale to the original piece. So this is the king ho-ho cushion, and you can see these wonderful late, well, I suppose they're Jacobean colours, but they're turn of the century through to William and Mary and then to Queen Anne. So this is the 1710 sort of colours, and really the idea then was to have depth and tone and to show that you could afford the expensive dyes that produce these lovely deep colours. So we're very green this morning. I'm wearing green and this is green. I hope this doesn't clash, Karen, too much. The lovely thing my mother used to say was, in nature, nothing clashes. And I think that about the natural dyes and the colours inspired by the natural dyes, as long as they're absolutely spot on with the shades. I just think that natural dyes always work well together. Now this actually is fighting me because it's a very well-constructed self-seal bag that you can use again and again. And now I'm taking out the wools. Now the colours, you can see, they're really deep and they're really simple and they're really contrast. And the balance of colours, if you have strength in the blues, you need to have strength elsewhere as well. So actually the strength here is this really warm, zingy, powerful yellow, which I think is fantastic. And that really offsets these stronger greens through to blue. And this green going through to yellow on this leaf is absolutely typical from about 1680 onwards. But I love it that they've kept this style, and these spot motifs of the birds on this hanging are fantastic. So as usual, we have the stitch chart, which is pretty well life-size, I would say. There we go. And that has all the colours listed and the stitches, and it's really easy to follow because of the size. So that is the booklet with the design on the back, and you can see that Georgie's wonderful painted illustrations show you this is one of our latest kits, which has fantastic, very easy to follow step-by-step instructions in the colours that they were stitched in, which is, I think, is lovely. So we have the needles in single thread, double thread, the beading needle and the beads for the eyes. We also have the, as ever, the essential guide. And if you buy lots of our kits and have this again and again, you know, do recycle it and send it to a friend to get them started, because they could just start on a piece of scrap fabric. So here we have a picture of me, Frankie and Georgie blocking a piece. So you get lots of help with that. But of course you can also look at the videos if you don't believe me in written word. So this is the printed linen. So this is the shading on here and on here, and you can see that the stitches are actually printed on for you. So I don't know if you quite see that, but you would definitely see that when you're actually stitching it. And don't worry about the folds, because they obviously all come out. And never iron your work before you start it. All our kits are overlocked as well, which I really should mention, because I never used to bother with that. And when I'm stitching my own pieces and creating kits, I actually very rarely overlock, because I kind of get going and it's drawn in pencil. I can't wait. And the overlocker is in the studio in the town, and my stitching is usually done at home. So I've always got horrible bits of thread. So, you know, if you are doing your own design, just whip round the edge with a thread, just a bit of cotton, just to keep those threads in. But it does make a much nicer experience when it's all overlocked for you.